Thanks for visiting Yoga Coast. My name's Bridie. Hello. Today I have a yin practice for you. We're going to be focusing on grounding our Vata dosha. So if you're new to Ayurveda, the holistic medicine of India, the tridosha theory is a concept based on qualities within us. So the doshas are also known as humas, and we are born with a specific constitution, a specific makeup of these three doshas, individual to each and every one of us, but we often have one more dominant than the other. So we are focusing on Vata. Vata is a combination of the space and air element, so its qualities are light, cold, it's mobile, and we often, have that friend that's off in space, a little bit airy-fairy, or maybe you are that friend. So we're going to work on grounding the Vata within us, that space and air quality. And Vata is also quite dominant within the hip area, the lower legs, and it governs our skeletal system. So we are going to begin in your most comfortable position where you feel most at rest, whether that's on your back or seated, just taking your time to get yourself comfy. I do invite you to pause the video and grab a blanket, a bolster if you have one, otherwise a couple of cushions off your bed. And also a block is always handy if you have one, or any props, cushioning that you can get for support. I also suggest you pop some socks on, grab a nice big woolly jumper, some nice comfy loose pants, just in case you feel you get cold as we hold the poses for quite a few minutes. And also things that you can layer off if you feel you get a little bit warm as well. So once you have got yourself organized, either on your back or in your seat, just starting to close down our eyes together here, just keeping a soft gaze, maybe to the ceiling, maybe down towards your mat or your blanket. And just observing the current quality of your mind. Vata mind is often creative, often thinking of a lot of ideas, maybe trying to attempt them all at once. If we start to get a little bit out of balance with our Vata dosha, it can tend to lead to feelings or emotions of anxiety or fear. Vata strives forward into the future. So here, just noticing if maybe any of those qualities or tendencies reflect your own state of mind. And can you start to draw yourself completely into your body with the power of your breath? I want you to visualize on your inhale breath, just drawing more and more pieces of yourself into your body. And on your exhale breath, just allow yourself to settle into your heart. Any fragments of you out in space, drawing them in through the nose on your inhale breath. And connecting with your heart on your exhale, the whole body starts to soften and ground down into the earth. Just continuing to follow your breath. Smoothing out this rhythm. Not straining the breath, just allowing it to be soft. Giving it time to lengthen as you maintain your awareness on this natural cycle. And as the inhale breaths become longer, Can you extend the exhale even more than the inhale? Vata has the quality of being mobile. So here, as your body rests in stillness, can you start to notice how that begins to still the mind? If the mind starts to wander, drawing it back to that focus of your breath, getting longer and deeper into your body. Letting it soothe completely on your exhale. If you're resting on your back, just slowly and gently rolling onto your side. Just holding here for a few moments before you begin to rise into your seat, allowing your head to be the last thing to rise and stack on top of your spine. And if you're seated, just slowly coming to flicker our eyes open as we move into our first yin pose. So coming to find our child's pose, I invite you to grab your pillow. You don't need any props if you don't have any with you. I'll give you alternate options. But we're finding our nice wide-legged child's pose to begin, bringing the big toes to touch, taking the knees out wide. And just grabbing your cushion or your bolster and placing it in front of your body. We're coming to rest the torso down onto your prop and just dropping one cheek off to the side. If you have more space in your hips, you might want to release your cushion and just come into your full child's pose, bringing your forehead down towards the mat. And completely settling into your shape. I'm going to let you remain in your own space. I'm here in this pose if you need reference. I'm also keeping watch of the clock, so I'll let you know when it's time to transition. Just allowing yourself here to be completely present with your body. Using your breath as that anchor to refocus the mind if you feel it starting to drift off into that air and space. If you have your cheek rested to one side, just starting to switch over the cheek, balancing out through your neck. At your halfway point, can you just start to allow your spine to completely melt into your bolster or your cushion? Feel it resting in that support and softness of the pillow. Maybe visualizing the spine starting to rest and fall into the earth. Deepening that connection of your belly to your prop or to the earth as you take a nice deep inhale. As you exhale, nice and slowly making our way out, walking the hands back in towards our knees. And then slowly bringing the knees back in towards one another, just shifting your hips off to one side. Maybe finding a gentle windshield wiper of the legs from side to side, grounding the hands behind, just shifting knees to the right and to the left. And from here we're finding our Swan Pose, starting to bend into the right knee. The closer we have the heel to the groin, the less intense it makes this posture. And we're coming to lengthen the left leg out long behind and just making sure that that right sit bone's grounded to the mat. If we want to deepen this pose, we start to bring the knee more towards a 90-degree angle. Otherwise, if this feels a little too much for the hips today, we can find deer pose, bringing the left knee in towards the right foot. Then grabbing a hold of your cushion. And just finding a fold forward here, sleeping swan, as you drape the body over the bolster. And letting the head be heavy, the neck be completely heavy. I'm not trying to push and pull here in our yin practice. Where the body falls is exactly where it's meant to be. And settling back completely into your body once again. Finding a sense of rest in this posture. We've got just 2 more minutes here. Checking that you haven't started to clench the jaw, just softening through the jaw, through the brows. Relaxing through the shoulders, arms are heavy all the way down to the fingertips. Using your next couple of breaths to come to rise the torso from your fold, again slowly and gently. We're finding a link series today, moving straight into our next pose, keeping that bend in the right knee. We're coming to find our square pose. So I'll give you a few options here. We're swinging the left leg around to come and stack our shin and calf on top. So left foot comes on top of the right knee, left knee on top of the right foot. If this feels a little too much, we're simply just crossing the left leg in front of the right. Option to place a pillow underneath your seat to help support the lower back. And we come to grab onto your cushion or your bolster, place it across the hips. And again, we're finding a nice big drape to fold forward. And as always, if you have the space, we don't need to have the prop. Maybe use it to rest the forehead, or you can just fold yourself in half. And using your next exhale breath to begin to walk the hands back, rising from our fold. And unraveling the cross of your legs or the stack of the shins, just finding again that gentle windshield wiper from side to side as we start to make our way down into a rebound. So finding yourself onto your belly or your back. Maybe draping over the bolster or bringing the bolster or your cushions underneath your knees. And coming to rest onto your spine, onto your tummy, just letting the arms be long down by your side, feet a little wider than the hips, palms facing up. Just allowing your chi, that life force energy, start to move through your meridian lines in which you may have just moved some stagnant energy. If you feel those sensations of your chi, any tingling, maybe a little bit of heat starting to dissolve and you feel that it's balanced out, just slowly again rolling to your side, or if you're on your belly, just bringing your hands into a push-up position and starting to peel yourself up from the earth. And taking those same two postures on the other side, finding our Swan Pose. So this time bending into the left knee, sending the right leg long behind, or remaining in D pose, right knee to the sole of the left foot. We can again bring the bolster across the hip crease to drape forward. Maybe you rest cushions in front to come bring the forehead down too. Or if you have the space, just finding your full sleeping swan, fingertips reaching forward, forehead down to the earth. So relaxing through the ankles, through the toes. Keeping that steady breath, smooth, long and slow.
Final 90 seconds here. Again, we check that nothing's tensed up. Using the exhale breath, just melt the body. Focusing the mind to ground on the breath. Riding the next exhale breath back to rise the chest, the torso, keeping a bend in that left knee, slowly swinging the right leg forward to stack on top of the left. We're finding that cross of the right leg in front of left. Moving to square pose or cross-legged position. Placing a pillow or block underneath your hips if you need. And then again, we fold, bringing pillow underneath the belly, or just draping over the legs. Resting with 3 more conscious breaths here. beginning to rise yourself back up. Taking your time as you shift the legs, maybe again side to side with a little gentle twist. And moving into your chosen rebound, coming to rest on your back or on your belly. Extending long through your joints. Before we fall asleep completely, we'll finish with one last nice big opening for our hips, moving to a dragon fly fold. So again, rolling to your side or finding that push-up position if you're on your belly, and coming to meet in our seat. So finding our dragonfly, taking our legs out nice and wide. Again, sitting your hips onto a block or onto a cushion if you find it hard to fold yourself forward. And placing your pillow or your bolster in front of your belly. And if you do have a block or something to prop up your cushion to bring the earth a little closer to your tummy, just bring it underneath the pillow. Then as you come to fold, you can rest the belly onto the bolster. Otherwise, just draping again the torso forward into that grounding fold. Also the option to, if you have a wall nearby with some space, you can bring your hips up to the wall and open the legs out nice and wide with legs up the wall. It's always a nice one here. When you're ready, taking your chosen option of your fold with your props, without your props. Maybe shifting to the wall. full breath into belly. Maybe you release this one out through your mouth as we come to rise. Moving into our final resting pose, our Pentacle Pose. Making your way down onto your back, maybe guiding the legs in together, bringing the hands behind the thighs. And one last time, again, taking that option for bolster under the knees. If you find you have discomfort in the lower back when you lie flat on your spine, I do suggest you bring your props underneath your knees for support. If you have your blanket, placing your blanket over, you're adding any extra layers that you need, lengthening all 4 limbs out long. Taking one final breath to bring you to your rest. Deep inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, just allowing the front of your body to melt into the middle of your body. Finding another breath in, drawing any last remnants of yourself out in space into the body. Grounding into your heart as you exhale, the mid body falls into the back body. Inhale. And on your exhale breath, the back body melts completely into the earth, fully supported and grounded and stable. Finishing our practice right here on your back, so I invite you to stay for at least 5 minutes. If you have the time, do stay longer. Enjoy your rest. Namaste.